Alright, you hold on. Let me set up the camera, okay? Alright, we're going to do our new video, alright? Alright, hold on. I almost got you in frame. Alright, hold on. Something's going to happen. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Ethan? Ethan? Ethan?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ethan and Angelo Movie Reviews, the show where we review movies for kids through the eyes of a kid. Today, we're doing another Disney classic called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The plot for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is it's pretty packed. It's got a lot in it. So I'll just explain real fast and we'll move on. Wayne Zalinski, he's an inventor, played by Rick Moranis, and he's trying to get a shrink machine that he's trying to create to work. And every time he puts something in front of it, it blows up, like an apple, right? The apple blew up, made a big mess.
Like applesauce.
Like applesauce, exactly. So he goes to a conference where he has to pitch the idea for a shrink machine, even though he knows it's not working. So he leaves his kids home, Amy and Nick. The mom is working. She's trying to sell a house. She's a real estate agent. Meanwhile, the neighbors, the Thompsons, they're trying to go on a fishing trip. The older son, Russell Jr., he doesn't want to go on the trip, right? He wasn't really happy about the trip. But the little brother, Ron, he really wanted to go on the trip. He was excited about that. So while he was waiting for the family to get ready to go on their fishing trip, he takes a baseball bat and a baseball in the backyard, and he hits a ball, and it goes through the attic window of the Zalinski house. And it turns on the machine, right? And becomes the missing piece. The baseball gets in front of the laser, and when it shoots the laser off, the shrink machine works, right? It shrunk.
1 hour later.
The kids come knocking on the door, and they say, hey, my baseball's in your attic, let's go up there. So they go up to the attic, and that's when Nick and little Ronnie, they get shrunk down first. So then Amy and the other brother, Russell Jr., they go upstairs and try to see what happened to the kids, and they get shrunk too. So all 4 kids are shrunk. Right? Did you understand that when it was happening?
Mm-hmm.
You understood the whole plot?
Yeah.
Nothing was confusing?
Yeah.
So far? Okay, that's pretty good, because there was a lot in there. There's a lot of stuff that's in this story so far.
Yes.
I've seen this movie a bunch of times on TV and since I've been little and grown up. But this is the first time Ethan saw it. So let's see what Ethan thinks on today's episode of
Ethan and
Angelo's Movie Reviews. So a little background on this movie. This movie came out in 1989. So that was before I was even born. But then this was also the first time that Ethan watched this movie. But he's seen the sequel before. He saw Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. He saw that movie, and then he wanted to see the original Honey, I Shrunk the Kids too. This movie made over $222 million in the box office. And at the time, it was the highest grossing live-action Disney film. 5 years, it was the highest grossing film for Disney. Yeah. You know what movie made more money than it?
Honey, you Blew Up the Kids?
No, 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, that movie, when that came out. This was a pretty big movie in 1989. Back to the Future 2 came out in 1989. Batman came out in 1989. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out in 1989.
Stitch?
So, no. So, a lot of movies came out in 1989. All right, let's see what Ethan thinks, okay? Ready? Cool. First question. Did you like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yes.
You did? Awesome. What part was your favorite part?
Like when they finally got back to big.
When they got back to being big? What about all the stuff that happened in between?
That's my second, third, fourth, fifth, and
That's your second favorite part, and your third part, and fourth favorite part. What did you think when they got shrunk down and they got thrown in the trash can? What did you think was going to happen?
They were just gonna bust out like they did.
Bust out, and then when they opened it up and they were all around the other side of the yard, did you think they'll never make it back?
Oh, I thought they were gonna make it back, but they were just gonna ride a bead there.
A what?
They were just gonna ride a bead. They're just gonna take.
Let's talk about that stuff. So in the movie, there was a lot of animals that they had to come in contact with, right? What they came in contact with? A bee, and they came in contact with an ant, right? What else did they come in contact with?
That killed the ants.
The thing that killed the ant? That was a scorpion. I don't know where this movie takes place, but they had a scorpion in their backyard. That's kind of scary to me, a scorpion.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those in my backyard. All right, second question. How did the movie make you feel?
Like scared.
It made you scared? What parts made you scared?
Like when the bugs.
All the big bugs? They looked really big, didn't they? Yeah.
I felt they were like giants.
Did they look real? If you were shrunk down and you were teeny tiny like that in the backyard and you saw a
like
giant bug
this,
like that,
like this small.
right? Would you be scared too?
Yes.
Yeah, I would be pretty scared if I saw a giant butterfly or a giant ant coming at me. Definitely, definitely. Was there anything in the movie that you didn't understand or didn't get? Because it did take place in 1989. That was a long time ago. Was there anything that you didn't understand in the movie? When the mom had to call home, did she call home on a cell phone? What she had to call on? A phone that was like in the mall, right? They called payphones. You had to put a dime in or a quarter in and had to call people on a payphone. Time for our ratings. So we do a rating out of 5. I do one and then he does one. And then we take those ratings, we add them together, and that's our overall rating for the movie. Okay? So, Ethan, what do you rate Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Okay. Why do you... What could have made it a 5 out of 5? What would have made it even better?
If there was no bugs.
If there was no bugs. Okay. So, 4 out of 5 for Ethan? Okay, and I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, actually. Maybe back then, in 1989, this was a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, but today... I think some of the stuff in the beginning it just kind of slowed it down, and I mean once you kind of get into the backyard and they're small and they're fighting all the ants and the bugs, everything gets great, but the beginning seemed a little too slow for a kids movie, and there was a lot going on. There's a storyline between the teenage girl and the teenage boy, and then the one boy's kind of going through his whole doesn't want to play football phase and all that stuff. So I kind of don't know what age group this movie was really going for. You know, Ethan being 6 years old, he enjoyed it. He had a good time with it. And I mean, but I can also see a kid who's about 14, 15 years old watching this movie and having a good time with it. So I guess that's good. But at the same time, it seemed like there was just too much going on in this movie to really say it was a great kids movie. So I'm still going to say 3 out of 5 on this one. 4 out of 5 plus 3 out of 5, that makes a 7 out of 10 for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. A 7 out of 10. Think it's a pretty good rating for it? Still had a good time with it, right? Mm-hmm. Still enjoyed it? Okay, so I'm Angelo.
And I'm Ethan.
And I'm glad you enjoyed another episode of Ethan and Angelo's movie reviews.
Yep.
Okay, see you soon. And you like the other movie too, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid? You think I Blew Up the Kid better than Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yes.
Why?
Because, I like the giant better than smaller.
You like when things get bigger rather than things getting smaller?
Yes.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that too. All right.
If you were small, you would get attacked by 1,000 bugs.
You know what I think about this movie, because I've seen this movie a bunch of times. It came out in 1989. Yeah, that was before I was even born. But I've seen it a lot of times on TV. This is the first time Ethan saw it. So let's see.
1989? Mommy was born.
Yeah. We don't need to say that on the video, though.
Okay.